Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to explore a fighting stance. And this is an upper body stance where the person is positioned in a certain fist fighting pose. So it's not necessarily a karate pose or a martial arts pose, but it's just an old-fashioned fist fighting pose. So we have there's a lot of foreshortening in this one, and we'll explore two different options, which are I guess they could be a transitioning thing, but they can be individually utilized as respective, like their own poses if we need. So there's the chest. Now there's a slight curvature. There's a slight like crunch or a hunch in the posture, and this shoulder is like really thrown back. If we just have this much going, so oval curvature of the spine, collar, and the chest, we are pretty much off to the races, because the remainder is going to be all the fun options that we'll be exploring in a second. I'm pretty sure that all of us have seen this kind of placement. I think I'm going to grab a different color here. This thing is a little too faded. So the head's placement need not change. So if you notice here that I have this going like this, depending on the bulk of the traps. If they're slender, it'll just be like that. So, but this is the like sharper and more of a slope here. The placement is here. So that's the set. There's the set of eyes, nose, mouth, ear, side of the head. That is the essential placement that we're just going for. It can be hunched even deeper. We can try that as well. So, but if we even have it at that position, it really works. It'll work just fine. So this hand is like really thrown back. So the upper arm is going right behind the body. There's somewhere, there's the elbow coming back and materializing here. And the way we have the placement here is, so set of fingers, so bell shape. We'll put the fingers in a second, but here's where all the action is. So right here, we're going to put in like let's start with the first placement, which is this here. So let's put in the finger set here. So again, bell shape, but knuckles and fingers. It can be a little bigger, but I think this will just do fine. We go back and we place the elbows somewhere here. If I were to come back, it would materialize somewhere along that line. So there's our first placement. Let's throw in our fingers. So the thumb, the fleshy part of the hand, and the fingers. And of course there will be a little bend right there. I think we can see that clearly. So that's where the fingers are bent. that's the placement of the knuckles. And same thing of the fist. Sorry, fist. Same thing here. There's a thumb. Of course, the placement is a little different. There's a bit of the hand showing there. So there's our first posture placement complete. But then using that exact same frame, we can also come forth with a slightly different posture. And we will do that in 1 second as we put down the framework here. So just going about this quickly. Now, and here I think I have a little bit of a hunch going, which is fine. It's more, sort of like more natural to have that. We have our essential fist right there. And this is where all the action is, right here in this area. So this exercise is going to have a different placement. Now we have explored this before, but this is with a slightly different and more grounded posture, like placement, let's say. So we have always the ring technique also works, so bigger rings like that will help us determine where we place to start off our fist, which is nice and big, and depending on how much of it we want to show, what kind of components we want to show, if it's like a full-fledged, like really tightly packed. And then we work our way back. So a hint of the forearm, hint of the bicep and tricep area, and the shoulder. And it should really work. And in a moment, we're going to make this a little more pleasant on the eyes. Oh, I also should mention that we could always vary the placement of the fist here as well. Again, depending on what we are looking to do with this, what is the purpose of the illustration? Is it based on a character? Is it just a casual illustration for practice? We could lean from one thing to another in terms of what aspects we would like to highlight and in how much depth. But that is the core exercise. And we're just going and doing ourselves good by highlighting the base elements that we were working with in both these sketches. So essentially the same body, even the same placement of the head, although this one is a little different. It would be nice, again, I should mention this because, again, it's in the interest of getting that expression. If it's placed like this a little bit, so the nose is like here instead of there, this can also work, like, the head like peering down, let's say. So there's the head of hair, if we will. that can also work. Again, different options, and that can be hunched again deeper into the chest in both cases. But so same frame, same placement of the right fist pretty much, except you could like turn it, tilt a little bit, that's up to you, but with two different options. This can transition into this, so preparation and, you know, kapow. So there's the impact. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, keep in touch, and let us keep sharing ideas. Please let us have your comments and your recommendations for other postures, fun postures. Have yourself a wonderful day.